Hey guys, it's Melanie and thank you for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a quilted bookmark, but first I wanted to say thank you for those of you who came to visit me at VidCon. It was so fun to see you. I'll insert some footage here so you can kind of see what it was like. I was at the Makers and Bakers booth that was sponsored by Kin Community, Wilton, and Simplicity. And as promised, I mentioned this in the loom knitting video, Simplicity hooked up over 100 of the people who came to visit me with these swag bags that had the boy loom and the red heart yarn inside. Everybody was loving them. Everyone was really excited to be doing this project. So be sure to check the description box for the terms and conditions, and I want you guys to tell me what your favorite summer craft projects have been. What are the creative things you've been working on this summer? And leave a comment below and I will pick 5 of the most original comments and you will get your very own bag. Now let's get going on the tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make these really easy quilted bookmarks. A great little project for back to school, a good skill building project because we're going to be doing some free motion quilting on here. So let's get going. I'm going to show you how to make some bookmarks. Here are my bookmark pieces. They're 8.5 by 2.25, but if you're using scraps, they can be anything roughly the same size. Now you just want them all to be the same size, the batting, the front and back. Now you're going to place the 2 cotton fabrics right side together and then place the batting piece on top of that and then pin all of those into place. So the key fact here is the cottons need to be right side together. So I flipped it over here. Normally you would have the pins facing up, but I wanted you to be able to see my stitching on the sewing machine here, so that's why I flipped it over so you could see it on that purple. You're going to want to stitch a scant 1/4 inch from the edge there. You can just use your presser foot, about the same size that I'm doing. This doesn't have to be anything super precise, so if you want to just use the width of your presser foot, that would be fine. And you're going to go all the way around, leaving an opening so that you can flip it right side out. So there you can see our opening. It's about 1 inch wide. Trim your threads and then you want to trim your corners. Don't trim through that stitch you just made, but you want to get nice and close to it. And then you're going to flip your bookmark right side out. So you can see how I'm doing it here. If you need a chopstick or a point turner or something like that to help you, that's fine. But just pull it all out. Okay, once you have it all right side out, you're going to use a chopstick or a tool like this and push those corners out, making sure they're nice and sharp there on the corners. Do that for all 4 corners. And then, there you go, how it's looking. Then you want to take it over to your ironing board and give it a nice good press, folding that opening under nicely and pressing it down so that that will be hidden when you go around and sew your edge. So give it a nice good press. Then you're going to take it back over to your sewing machine. You're going to back stitch at the beginning and you're going to sew 1/8 of an inch going all the way around. Basically enough so that you catch those raw edges for the opening and you just give it a nice finished look on the outside edge. So go all the way around, pivot on those corners, 1/8 of an inch going all the way around, roughly that, back stitch at the end. And now you can be done at this step. You don't have to do the quilting if you don't want to. This could be a perfectly fine bookmark just like it is. But if you want to do the quilting, what you want to do is pull your bobbin thread up. So you can kind of see how I did it here. You want to push your needle down into the fabric, pull it back up, and then pull the bobbin thread up to the top side of the fabric as you work so it doesn't get tangled on the bottom. And then you're going to start to do a free motion quilting pattern. You're going to do a few stitches on one space so that you can, secure it. And then go nice and slow. Make sure your feed dogs are down. Make sure your stitch length is to 0. And make sure you have a free motion foot on your sewing machine. Go really slow. Some of the machingers type gloves or gardening gloves with those little grippies on the fingers can help when you're trying to move your project around. And this is real time. I'm showing you this project, this part of the quilting real time. I want you to see exactly how long it takes, exactly kind of how it looks when I do it real time. I'm going to show you the other options that I did, but I'm going to speed those up. Now you want to think of it like you're drawing on fabric. You want to just keep it nice and smooth. You want those stitches to be the same length. You are the one making those stitches the length that they are. If you go much faster, the stitches will be farther apart, etc. So this is a great way to practice, and then once you get comfortable, then you might be ready to tackle a little bit bigger quilt or a little bit bigger project. So here we are getting down to the end. If you need to slow down, definitely do that. Just go nice and slow. And then I'm gonna do a little surprise here on the bottom. I'm gonna stitch a little heart here. And then when you're done, you want to stitch it in the same place over and over a few times to secure that thread. And then you can trim your threads and you're done. So here are a couple of other options of ways that I free motion quilted some of my other samples, just to show you some different types of motifs that you could practice, or that you know, just to try out and give you some ideas. Here's kind of a loop-de-loop figure 8 kind of idea. And I just ended it right there on the edge, you can see. And then this one, I'm going to echo the fabric. So I'm sort of just echoing around this circle shape with that flower on the inside. So this is another good way to just practice moving your needle around the thread and getting used to how that kind of feels in your hands. Another thing I want to mention is you might have to up your tension a little bit on your machine, but do a few test runs, maybe on some scraps, just to get an idea if you've never free motion quilted before, and make sure you're using a fresh needle. That's usually a big thing that gives people trouble, is if they're not using a fresh needle. So here's just a nice big loop, kind of like a big giant roller coaster here on this option for your free motion quilting. And there we go. There's our options. I hope you enjoyed this quilted bookmark. Really easy scrap busting project, and give you some, you know, chance to work on your free motion quilting skills and try some new things out. Here it is in my new Heather Ross book. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to enter the Simplicity Swag Bag giveaway by leaving me a comment below about your favorite summer sewing, summer crafting project. I will leave a link at the end of this video for that loom knitting hat video in case you missed it, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.